Throughout each of his murders committed in his house in Kansas City, Missouri, Robert Berdella kept detailed notes and photos of his tortured and raped victims. In the late 80s, Robert Berdella tortured and killed 6 men, chopped their bodies into small pieces, and stuffed their remains into plastic bags. Quiet spring night in Kansas City's historic Hyde Park in 1988 was shattered when a man, wearing nothing but a dog collar around his neck, leaped from a second-story window of a Robert Berdella's house where he was being held captive. He crashed to the ground and ran to a nearby meter maid, who called the police. Police secured a search warrant and proceeded to discover a cavalcade of horrors inside this unassuming house. Opening a second-story closet, they discovered a human skull as well as human vertebrae, marked from where they had been cut with a bone saw. In the backyard, they discovered another human head buried in the ground, partly decomposed. When they ventured into the basement, they found large barrels stained with blood as well as the personal belongings of 2 missing people and a stack of Polaroid photos depicting naked men being sexually assaulted and tortured. They also found a stenographer's pad meticulously detailing the abduction, torture, rape, and murder of 6 young men from around the area. This house, 4315 Charlotte Street, belonged to the Kansas City Butcher, one of the most deranged serial killers in history. Born Robert Andrew Berdella Jr. on January 31, 1949, in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, the man who would become this terrifying killer grew up in a deeply religious Roman Catholic family in the early 1950s. From a young age, Robert Berdella was a loner. With his severe nearsightedness, high blood pressure, and speech impediment, he was an easy target for bullies in his neighborhood. Using the contacts he made through his extensive pen-pal relationships from his lonely childhood, as well as his knowledge of art, Berdella opened a store called Bob's Bizarre Bazaar, where he sold art, jewelry, and antiques from around the world. Berdella's victims consisted of young Caucasian men aged between 18 and 22. It has been noted that all of these unfortunate individuals were either prostitutes or acquaintances of his. Upon luring them to his residence, Berdella would proceed to intoxicate them by means of alcohol or administer traditional sedatives and animal tranquilizers. Subsequently, he would restrain and gag them to a bed in his basement with the use of piano wire. Over varying time intervals, ranging from a single night to several weeks, the victims were subjected to unimaginable torment. This included methods such as electric shock, beatings inflicted with various instruments, and acts of sodomy through forced penetration with his own fist, genitals, or vegetables. It is truly disturbing to note that he meticulously documented this entire torture process, capturing it on camera and maintaining a detailed log. Ultimately, his heinous acts would culminate in the killing of his victims, often accomplished by asphyxiating them with a plastic bag. Berdella received life in prison where he died of a heart attack in 1992 soon after writing a letter to his minister claiming that the prison officials refused to give him his heart medication. His death was never investigated. Thank you for watching. It is unimaginable that these type of people roam around in the world.